Hey everybody, it's Monday, August 18th, 2025. Welcome to the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast, where we are not drafting Wan'Dale Robinson in the third round. We're your man, MG Marcus Gray, joined by Michael F. Florio and Laquan Jones. So, all right, full disclosure, I had other things going on this weekend, so I didn't really get to the rundown. So I'm trying to figure out which one of you two wrote that. I'm guessing
I wrote it, but it's about him.
Yes. I'm about to say, I didn't write it. I was really surprised I made it in the rundown. Like, what's going on?
I was sitting there last night like, what can I do? And then Laquan sent us a text of someone in his home league taking what? And I even was like, okay, he's sending us his, there it is.
Oh, wait, shocker.
I didn't see, I missed that part of the text. The part that I was fixed on was Travis Hunter at the
101. Yes.
Oh, I missed that.
like, there was so much going on in this league where I'm just like, where am I right now?
Your home league is chaos, man.
Chaos. Like, I almost wanted to leave because I was like, wait, that had to be a mistake. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson in the third round. But then I'm like, wait. Travis Hunter just went 101. Like, what are we believing in? This is a one quarterback PPR league. This is the regular of all leagues.
I was going to ask you if it was a points per snaps played.
No.
In that case, Travis Hunter at the 101
it's
makes
hopes
sense.
and dreams. That's what it is. Because it's just like Travis Hunter at the 101 is insane.
This is why I remind people, by the way, if you are, if you're an analyst or if you're just somebody who's deep in the fantasy streets,
very
playing
humbling.
these high stakes leagues, go draft with casual folks, like people who don't, because it's a different world. Like your head will be on a swivel.
Which pick do you think is crazier? Hunter at 101 or Wan'Dale in the middle of the third?
Wan'Dale.
I think that
It gotta be Wan'Dale.
It's Wan'Dale.
But he's been getting a lot of camp love, and
He
you see the
has.
videos, and you see Russell Wilson trying to target him deep down the field. Where I'm like, well, we're not getting that close to the line of scrimmage guy no more.
Was your friend a Giant fan?
No.
That makes it
here's the
so
thing.
much worse.
This is what's crazy. When you jump back into fantasy so late in it, and I say late for us because we're degenerates. We're all year.
We've been here for a while.
When you open that fantasy scrapbook of the notes and cheat sheets and et cetera, and it's the second week of August, this is exactly what you get.
Well, also, I'm assuming your home league is East Coast based.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So the news that they are getting,
It's cycled
it's
right in their
cycled, but it's
algorithm.
also very
Jersey.
Yes,
it's
let's
very
go.
Jets and Giants focused, So
Yeah.
I can see how that would happen. Look, I played in a league once. I lived in Fresno, California, and Ryan Matthews had just been drafted from Fresno State to the Chargers.
Shout out Ryan Matthews.
Shout out Ryan
Haven't heard
Matthews,
that
right?
name in a while.
Yeah.
Right,
No.
right. But I played in a league with a bunch of Fresno State guys, and Ryan Matthews was the number 2 overall pick.
There was a
Wow.
stretch where that was crazy, but not Wan'Dale.
No, Wan'Dale in the third is the craziest I've ever seen in any draft. But hey, more power to you.
Did not expect to take this detour to start the show. Anyway, today's show, we're going to talk about some guys we love in the middle rounds. Today, we'll pick guys that we like in rounds 5 through 8. Then on Wednesday, we will do 9 through 12. And then Thursday's show, or Friday's show. I don't know what day are we releasing these shows? I think Friday.
Yeah, feels like a
We'll
Friday
figure
show.
it out.
We'll
by
figure it out.
Friday.
Whatever. That show's going to be rounds 13 through 16. So we'll kind of help you with guys that we like sort of in the middle to late rounds to kind of help you because we know a lot of drafts are coming up in the next week or two. So giving you some thoughts to talk about. Also, we'll kind of recap week 2 of the preseason, what we saw, what we liked. I was patting myself on the back about Elik Iomanor.
Yeah.
He had a big catch
Need a
and
big
run.
catch and run.
Big
He
catch
looks
and
like
run.
the guy.
One of only 2 passes that Cam Ward completed.
Hey,
I think it was you guys are stands of him. I think it was Van Jefferson that just clunked that amazing
Yeah,
Cam Ward
chill
throw
off,
off his
Van. Let's
hands.
keep that quiet.
I have
he should have caught it. Though.
I don't think I'm a Van stan anymore.
It's
I used
gone.
to be, but
I get it.
but yeah, I don't think that's
I
there
sold
anymore.
my pairs.
He had to catch that ball, man. That would have been such a highlight. It would have been
Yes.
all Cam Ward would have finally been talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Van Jefferson was like, "Nope, not today."
Cam Ward
today.
looks good though. I mean, he looks good in the totality. I think he might have something this year. We'll
Although
see.
Cam Ward does say the offense is mid.
Yeah.
The offense is very mid. So we'll
Hey.
see. All right. Speaking of mid, let's talk about the Colts. Shane,
Oh boy,
Shane,
the mid off.
Shane Steichen says he is very close to making a decision at quarterback. So I feel like we touched on this a little bit last week. I know how Laquan feels about this whole thing. I'm asking you. I kind of know how you feel about this whole thing too. But choose your fighter Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones?
I'm going down with the ship, man. What am I?
Oh,
I'm the dude. I think Anthony Richardson looked really good the other day. Like he had that one throw with pressure in his face where he like floated it, and I was like, yeah, people are always like, why can't you give up on Anthony Richardson? And like LeBron pointing at that play, like this is why I can't do it. But yeah, I think he looked good, and I continue to say, man, if you're the Colts, you need to see what you have in him, right? Like Daniel Jones could be a stopgap for this year, maybe help you, but he's not a long-term answer. Anthony Richardson could be a long-term answer. We don't know yet. And I think if you're the Colts, your number one goal for this season should be to see what you have in Anthony Richardson.
So then, Laquan, if it is Richardson that wins this gig, where are you on Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Tyler Warren? Like, where do you come in on those guys?
Like, even with the box score, like you look at the numbers, 73 passing yards. If you weren't watching the game, then you would not know that he had like a big 38-yard pass negated by a flag. But there wasn't much separation between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. And I do think, at least with Daniel Jones bouncing back from that bad pass and wide open he missed from Tyler Warren, both of these quarterbacks look capable of running and functioning this offense. So I'm not totally out on the Colts pass catchers just because Anthony Richardson made this race a little bit closer now. I do feel like going into this season, like it's going to come down to which Colts wide receiver do you want that is costing you the least risk there. And I think obviously taking your shots at A.D. Mitchell, cool. Josh Downs, he might be in that price range where you're looking at a Deebo Samuel or a Jerry Jeudy that look a little bit more attractive. So I do think Michael Pittman, the injury concern is there. It's like you're just going to have to get the safest bet of that Colts pass catcher where it really shouldn't matter who wins this race as the QB1.
Yeah, I mean, I have been encouraged by all the reports that Richardson was looking better this year, right? Yeah. And that he was running even and sometimes ahead of Daniel Jones. Because I know, Florio, you've said, and I agree with you, I think if you're Daniel Jones, you have to just outright win the job. I think Richardson's going to get the benefit of the doubt because of the draft capital there. So, we'll see.
He was making quicker passes, too. Like, he was like 45% of his passes were under the 2.5 seconds, which is like good for a quarterback compared to last week where it was like 33% of his passes. So the quick decisiveness of him just looking and making direction, hitting the ball where it needs to go, that's exactly what the Colts want to see. And I think that's what gets him on the field, QB1, week 1.
Yeah, he just needs to keep his head on a swivel, so he doesn't take hits, and so that his pinky finger
continue to move in that pocket,
isn't pointing to the outside when his hand is straight up in the air.
The ship is coming up, Florio, out of the water, and I like slightly coming up.
Tyler Warren or bust though for pass catchers. That's where I'm kind of at.
I'm really back in on Tyler Warren. Like it was the Loveland thing was mostly about the draft capital spent, and then when I started watching the Colts offense, I'm like, oh no, they're scheming things up.
I think he's going to be their top target.
They're trying to get him
He has to be. He's going to be their biggest playmaker of that because they're hitting him down the line. They're hitting him long downfield, and like that's where the yards are going to come in that yak yards that he has. Boy, it's going to be a lot of points on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Hopefully, it'll be a lot of points on Sunday. Rashee Rice. Last week we were talking about the fact that his disciplinary hearing was scheduled for September 30th, which would have been about a month into the season. Now there's talk that he could be suspended before the season. The NFL proposed a 10-game suspension. What's better, Laquan? Is it to get him for a month and then lose him for like 6 to 8 games? Is it just to rip off the Band-Aid and have him gone for 10? Like, what is the better case scenario here? Because they both seem bad.
They are both bad. It's like same but different, but still the same. It's like bad, but I do like that in this chaos of home league that I was in. I feel like more casual fantasy
Did
folks.
Rashee go like 2 second round first?
No, he went late. He went super late, and it's like that's the price he should be going at. Like he should be only a wide receiver 4 or 5 target like later in those drafts to like get that reinsurance on your wide receiver roster core. So it's like people who are just now coming back outside, they hate suspensions. Like, that's the one thing. Like, all the casual folks are playing for week 1. So for him to drop as far as he did in those later rounds, that's where I'm targeting him in drafts because I think either way, if we get him the first 4 weeks, cool. We get those points and he's suspended for like 8 to 10 games. He'll be back for the fantasy playoffs if you draft properly and have a strong wide receiver core. So having that reinforcements going to the playoffs, I absolutely still want to buy in no matter the outcome of the suspension.
I just struggle to know that I might be burning a bench spot for.
Hey, you got folks out there drafting Kyle Pitts, man. That's a bench spot. Like, come
if
on.
Rashee Rice was going where Kyle Pitts was going, I'd be all in. But to me, if he's suspended before the year, that is best case scenario.
I'm sorry. I'm just marveling at the sniper shot he took.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, man.
Kyle Pitts is
at least on the field, man.
I was burned last year jumping on the train once because of the salesman next to me. Now I want to burn that ticket and forget I ever even bought it.
I get it. But if Rashee Rice was going as like a 14th round pick, I'd be like, I don't care what happens.
I think that's
to
where
him.
he went in the chaos draft. And I think
But
folks
that's
that
not
are
where he's going to go in a lot of drafts.
But a lot of drafts are up this week, and a lot of casuals are out here coming back outside. So it's
if he
like
goes
they
that
hate
late,
suspension.
Sure. But if he's going in like the 7th round, which is where his ADP is, I can't pay. Like, if we knew he was suspended even 6 games to start the year, I can get behind drafting him because the first 4 weeks, there's no buys. So it's easy.
Yeah.
I have a plan in place. But if I'm drafting blind, not knowing if or when and for how long he is going to be taken from me, it's too risky because what Tom was saying was that if Rashee Rice appeals this, it could carry out to where he's missing NFL playoff games. And if he's missing NFL playoff games,
missed fantasy
he's
playoff
missed
games.
all the fantasy playoffs. So
I don't think he's going to appeal it. If they come down with like 6 games slap on a
Well, they come
receiver,
down with
they
6.
came out with 10. I think 8 feels like a
even if it's 8, why
realistic-
appeal it? Like, take accountability. I mean, what he did was bad, but at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you're coming back this season.
But if he's 8 games, and like they're saying the ruling might come between week 4 and 5. Let's say it comes after week 5. We're talking about him not coming back then to the fantasy playoffs. Are you just throwing him out there?
I want that reinforcement. I want
So-
that good sleep of knowing, like, hey, I could wake up
Sleep.
tomorrow and put him in my starting
So
lineup.
here's the other part of this though, right? Is that let's say it's 8 games, right? Let's say
Okay.
he's out through week 8, right? So you're missing those first 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have their bye in week 10.
Yeah.
So like he comes back, let's say he comes back in week 9, he plays the game, then he's off again. Like at that point, you really are like you're not in the playoffs, but you're pretty damn close.
But
I think
in
you
that one
factor in
game.
the bye because you have to like so say he goes out week 5 on an 8-game suspension. Then we're talking about I would put him at week 14. He's
Back
That's
doing
the
well.
start of the fantasy playoffs.
yeah, but you
right
want to
on
do his first
track.
game?
Let's go.
I don't think
Wheels
people-
up.
Fantasy playoffs. You're throwing a guy you haven't seen in 3
In
months.
3 months,
in
you're
your
doing
The
lineup?
first 3 weeks of last season, what we saw, that was like phenomenal, like performance and connection with Mahomes. Like, I'm looking for that high. I'm looking for that ceiling in the fantasy playoffs.
But then there's going to be 3 months of them operating without Rashee Rice.
But he's a clear plug and play. What are we talking? Worthy? I mean, Hollywood Brown being healthy. Is he still
Worthy is
around?
very
Like,
good.
That's
Worthy has his own role. He's
You
not
got-
going to interchange
you got-
and be like a Rashee Rice
you got
type
bigger
out of the
stones than me,
slot.
man. I don't
Yeah,
know if I feel good throwing
it's-
him in after being out
look-
for 2 months. Like this is like this is do or die. It's one
Yeah.
and done. Like you don't get to come back. Like, oh, it was a bad week, but we'll bounce back next week. Like, no, it's
But that's why you draft your 1, 2, and 3 wide receivers of the strength to have to be able to carry you.
and so then
Like,
by then, are you willing to pull one of your 1, 2, and 3 for a guy who's been
if
on the
your
bench
if
for
your
2
3 is
months?
Jameson Williams and he's giving you mid or he's giving you like below expectations with
Why?
Yeah,
Why
why
are
are we throwing
why you-
J-Mo?
why-
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 I mean,
why
I'm not
doing
throwing
this?
him under. I'm actually on the J-Mo train this season. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That
What
was
if
the
he
bus
doesn't
going by.
perform?
That's what that was.
You could swap him out easily. Or if you draft Worthy and you end up getting Rice later, you could just swap out Worthy if Rice is coming in making the noise early. So
Great.
it's a safe.
I'm gonna let you have that headache.
Yeah, I would need to see
I
it
would let
for
you
a
have that
game because,
headache.
like, what if there's a snap count or something like?
don't-
But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
like to me, that is the problem. I don't want to spend a 7th round pick
Scared money
and
don't
then
make
not
money.
have a player really on my team because the
You know-
first
you know-
3 games he's coming back from a serious knee injury.
You know who
So
says?
what if he's not? 100%?
You know who says scared money don't make money? Con men. Con men who are trying to take your money. Those people say, like the dude playing 3-card Monty out in front of a Vegas casino. That's the
He's got
dude
a
who
point.
says scared money makes no
Yeah.
money.
You know what? You might be right.
Right.
Actually.
Okay.
You got that.
Anyway, that we could go on for a while on
Yeah.
this, so let's not. The Commanders reportedly shopping Brian Robinson Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of in and out over the weekend. I popped on social media. I saw people talking about. First off, shout out to our pal Jake Seeley, right? Because when you're not at the beginning of the conversation and you're trying to catch up,
Yeah.
you're sort of and like all I see is so if BR gets traded and then JCM pops in, I'm like, What is who? Huh? What? I'm
What are we
so,
talking
Sounds
about?
like Xbox cheat code.
I was so confused. Jake, I love you. I needed you to write out the full names. That's all. That's all
Also,
I'm
would
asking.
you save about 4 seconds, Jake? Come on.
Like that's all.
come
That's all,
on,
that's all I
Jake.
wanted to know. So Brian Robinson, who's been meh during his, is that fair? He's been meh during his time with the Commanders, could be on his way out. I know Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was getting a whole lot of hype. Florio, how are we feeling about JCM and Austin Eckler at this point?
I think. Look, I want to throw more darts on them. I will admit, the JCM hype. I was a big like. I'm moving him up the rankings and stuff, but I'm not really fully buying it.
Mm-hmm.
But if this comes to fruition, then I mean we have no choice but to buy in. But he's gonna get the hype, and he's gonna be the one that gets pulled up more. Yeah. I think Austin Eckler, people are just gonna continue to be like, he's old, he's Austin Eckler, like. And he could be the passing down back. Like he has a clear-cut role. Yeah. I'm not trying to get super bullish on right now because Brian Robinson is still there. Like it's just a rumor. I'm not really trying to get too excited about any of the Commanders' running backs, especially when you add in what Jaden could do with his legs and what Debo could potentially do. I think it's just a fantasy nightmare. But if Brian Robinson Jr. was moved, I would be a lot more interested in those other two.
What is your level of concern, Laquan, that they don't move Brian Robinson and then we just get a gross three-headed backfield there?
I don't think that's probably what's going to happen because if JCM is completely playing better than Brian Robinson, they're shopping him this late into, the offseason, I feel like he's made a statement to have at least a predominant role out of this backfield. And I think he brings to the table a lot different than what Austin Eckler still has or with a Brian Robinson because he could be a pass catcher. He could be explosive out of the backfield. He's good in between and outside of the tackles. There's a lot of qualities that obviously they believe in him to where he would be the safest pick out of this three-headed monster because I think he outperforms Brian Robinson. I think he outperforms Austin Eckler. But in a sense, with Eckler, where he's going in drafts is completely free. So there's no risk baked into buying into this backfield, even if B-Rob is moved or not. So I do like the opportunity that if I have a draft this weekend and let's say B-Rob is moved today, tomorrow, etc., I can go into the very late rounds and stash me a JCM. I do think Austin Eckler brings you like the not sexy pick, but he does bring like some security too, at least if he's on the move and Austin Eckler ends up as the RB2.
I'm trying to think of where Robinson could go that would enhance his fantasy value. And I'm struggling.
I said the Bengals. I mean,
no, please no.
Why not?
It's Chase Brown.
I know everybody's in my DMs and
I
mentions right now saying, "Shut your mouth."
I don't think it'd be good for Robinson. I just think he would be annoying for Brown.
Yeah,
but he fits their type because they reached out to Khalil Herbert last season, so like they just want that hard-nosed runner, and I think B-Rob will be that, and Chase can continue being out of the backfield as a pass catcher.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to find a place where he could go that would, you'd be like, okay, I'm maybe sort of in on this, like. Yeah. Houston, but that means Joe Mixon's
Houston would be the
that
one.
means Joe Mixon's foot is bad.
Yeah,
if that happens,
that's what it's feeling like.
Sean Payton could throw a wrench and everything and just bring him.
Hey, whoa now!
Because you took a shot at Jamison Williams.
Come on, bro.
That's why.
It's the RJ Harvey show. Stop.
Anyway,
Dallas would be the one.
Ooh, yep.
That means Blue is kind of
there we
go. Up. All right.
That would just be gross.
Yeah,
because to be Javonte, be
I do feel like that should have been a move to do anyway. Like, before even signing Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams. You should have just went right for B-Rob.
Maybe the Chargers, if they can't get Najee on
the field. Boy.
I don't know.
I don't know if the Hampton lovers want to hear that.
Oh, man. All right. We can sit here and speculate all day. It's probably not great podcasting. Back here as we dive into the middle rounds of your draft. Forgot to mention, by the way, at the top of the show, file this under the sun rises in the East. Joe Flacco is your starting quarterback for the Browns.
Let's go.
You're way too excited about that. Like, you shouldn't be that excited.
Come on, I'm Big Jersey. I got to represent my folks out there, man. He's Jersey's finest, and yes, he's elite.
You don't gotta.
Yeah, I do, man. Come on. Joe Flacco, we already knew this, though. This is not breaking news.
Under no circumstances do you gotta hand it to Joe Flacco.
Come on.
It's not a surprise, though. I think we all knew it was trending that way. How long he holds on to the job, that remains to be seen. All right. So we decided to look at rounds 5 through 8 based on ADPs and pick out some guys or groups of guys that we love drafting in those rounds. We each have a couple in this scenario. So, Laquan, who is your first sort of mid-round, maybe not necessarily value, but guy or guys that you love?
Like in those rounds, like I'm looking, can I make my wide receiver room stronger? Because that's obviously like my strategy where I'm going this season. Like heavy wide receiver. If I could start 2 wide receivers, it's still the same strategy as if I could start 3. So I feel like this is where you get your wide receiver 4s and 5s and like the Stephon Diggs and the Matthew Goldens of the worlds. Like you can really strengthen with that high upside because those are the guys that I feel like you can honestly get like a solid high end wide receiver too. And that can be your, if I have a bye week or if I have an injury, these guys come in as clear plug and plays.
All right. I keep hearing the name Matthew Golden popping up a lot lately. When did we all flip? Like when did because remember they drafted Matthew Golden, we were like, there's one more guy there.
It's like 170 people in the room.
And now all of a sudden everybody's like, this Matthew Golden could be interesting. And I'm like, there's still 11 other wide receivers there. Like, what changed for everybody?
It's guys dealing with injuries. I mean, you got Dobbs. He was dealing with a little banged up injuries last week. Christian Watson's on the pup. But that's no surprise.
Going to be out.
Yeah, duh. I mean,
since last season, we knew he was
like his per injury rate is very high right now. Like it's one of those things we already knew. But Jaden Reed, he's doing push-ups and walking boots and stuff like that. Like trying to show he still got it. Like
what?
I'm the wide receiver. Like he's pumping his chest. That's all ego to me right there, by the way.
I saw that like doing push-ups with I guess it just.
But Jaden Reed, he's not in none of the 12 personnel packages. Like he's not out there being used as a Matthew Golden.
I still think Jaden Reed is awesome though, but that is that is
of course
his crux.
They
don't use him in 2 wide receivers.
Yeah,
he's about to be Marvin Mims, where he's going to be used sprinkled in at certain times. I
think he's better than that.
No, I do think he's better than that. He'll do what Marvin Mims does at a very limited snap role at a better rate. I do think that's what it's starting to look like.
Well, they play a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, so I like Jaden Reed could. Like to me, I don't think anything has changed in this Packers receiving room. Like I think there's plenty of weeks where Jaden Reed is their top target. I think there'll be weeks where Romeo Doubs gets his 2 touchdowns or whatever, and then there'll be golden weeks. Like I just think it's going to be. It's how they like to play. They like to spread the ball out and like. Tucker Kraft will have a game here or there. Like it's gonna.
They got Luke Musgrave too, but that's why I think they're going more towards that 12 because they got Luke Musgrave there, where he's fast. He's one of those athletic tight ends as well. And with Tucker Kraft, we know he's the Yak King. Like I think those are 2 weapons that could be mixed into this offense with Dobbs on the perimeter and Golden playing as like a 1 essentially as the new shiny toy.
I just don't think Reed ever goes fully away.
No,
like,
he's never.
He's going to get used like Marvin Mims, like I said.
Just sprinkled in more than that.
Just sprinkled in. He's banged up right now, so he's coming into the season
but when
on
healthy,
injury.
He's got to be more than Marvin.
He's the veteran in that room.
He's more than Marvin Mims.
I think Golden. He's shaking the room. I'll say that. Just watching the clips, it's like there's every clip you're seeing. Like he could do everything. And
here's the thing. I don't doubt that. It's just that's just not the way the Packer offense operates. I mean, you had Matt LaFleur last year being like, "We don't have enough." Was it the idea of talking about a number 1 receiver makes me sick to my stomach, makes me nauseous, whatever it is? Like that's just not.
And then all his wide receivers ended up crashing out. Romeo Doubs, man, and Jaden Reed having his agent tap in like, "Yo, I'm the wide receiver 1," right? Like that's what caused that.
Right, but you think that's because you think Matt LaFleur shook now and be like, "Oh, we got to feed somebody."
I mean, they drafted Matthew Golden in the first, so
I don't think
there you go.
I don't think he shook like that. He's just like, let's just add another Funko Pop to the room. That's all that was. That's all that was. Florida, who do you like in this range?
We're talking like 5th, 6th, 7th, right? Like that range.
Something like that, yeah.
Pretty much every running back that goes in that range. Like so that's why I like to get receivers early. I'll go hero RB probably. Take one in like round 2. Load up on receivers in like 1, 3, 4. But look at the running. I mean, Travion is starting to get priced out of that range, but all summer long, Henderson was in that range. You have James Conner, who I think is universally yearly underappreciated. Kenneth Walker's in that range, who I think brings league-winning upside. You have Pacheco there. DeAndre Swift, I like a lot. Like there's no Marion Hampton is getting priced out of that range, but he was in there for a bit. Like I just love the running backs in that range, and because they're so like. I wrote the top 10 running back values for NFL.com, and they're pretty much all these round 5 through 7 guys because I just think they're like Pacheco to me is someone that should be like 2 rounds higher, but he's not. So I'm going to just keep taking what I think is a huge value there. All of these names that I meant, RJ Harvey is another one in that range. Like I love all Caleb Johnson, if you wait a little bit. Jordan Mason, like it's so much talent. Names keep popping into my head. And so just get your receivers early because in those middle rounds, you're going to be able to get running backs that you could start weekly and feel very confident about it. And it's pretty much my approach in every draft I've done so far.
You mentioned the name Caleb Johnson, and I saw a report that basically, so I was like, reporters at camp were like, he looks like Najee Harris, but maybe not as good.
Same, but different, but still the same.
That seemed sort of like it kind of feels like we're watching Najee Harris right now, and Caleb Johnson was drafted to be better than Najee.
He's Najee with more speed.
Mm.
But
I mean, at least Najee can jump over people.
Get a good night's sleep on
yes.
one occasion.
Oh yes, I sleep good putting on his highlights. Yep.
That is true. But the thing is, like, everyone's hyping up Kenneth Gainwell. I'm like, oh yeah, in year 5, he's gonna suddenly become something. And then Jalen Warren, it's like they know what they've had in Jalen Warren, and they went out and they added Caleb Johnson. And last year, Arthur Smith used Warren even less than he was the prior years. So
Fantasy Streets boogeyman right there.
I still think it's
Does that work again?
Caleb Arthur Smith loves big backs.
He does love big backs.
He also loves John New.
Really
he will hand him the ball on the goal line. I'm going to call it now. It's going to probably be in the first couple of weeks where John New is going to get a handoff in the red zone. We're going to be like, oh yeah, I forgot who's on the sticks. Arthur Smith.
I mean, that actually seems okay because, like, you know, people will have Jonnu Smith. It's when Darnell Washington gets the handoff on the goal line that we're really going to be salty.
Have you seen that man?
Darnell Washington?
Yes.
He's
human on human on human.
Yeah, he's a unit.
Why haven't they been using him in the red zone? Pat Fryer move.
The Pat Fryer move? I don't know. This is why I was salty about you just taking a sniper shots at Jameson Williams.
Oh my god!
Because I love him in the middle rounds.
I didn't even see him in the rundown.
I love him in the middle rounds. I've been drafting Jameson Williams where I can because my hot-ish take is he could end up being the Lions' leading receiver this year.
I don't think that is that.
That's
like
not
it's
crazy.
a hot take to everyone,
yeah.
But to me, I'm not like, oh my god. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that could happen. I think.
But that makes me more down on Amon. Like he's going further in that first round, like in the back end of the first round.
He's falling a little bit.
But why wouldn't you want Jameson then as well?
But I'm not saying I don't want Jameson. I was just making an example just in case if he was to fall off expectations. Like, this is the route you go with the Stephon Diggs.
True.
You just plug and play.
And maybe it's a little bit of him taking away from Amon-Ra, but I don't think it's like significantly enough. Like, if you take
I think
Amon-Ra,
he'll have more receiving yards.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay saying
yeah,
that.
it's probably not going to be more catches, but maybe more yards. And here's the thing. It's still worth taking Arsb at the end of the first round.
Yeah.
Early, if he falls early second rate, great.
Awesome.
He's still going to be good enough to take in that spot. But I think this is when we see Jameson Williams truly make the leap, right? He had 1,000 yards last year. First time he finally had a normal offseason, right? He wasn't rehabbing an injury. He wasn't dealing with a suspension.
Yeah.
He got to be there, and we saw what he can do. And so I think this is the year that he really goes to the next level. Now, I know new offensive coordinator John Morton has taken over. By the way, not to be confused with former USC and Detroit Lions wide receiver Johnny Morton. They are two different people.
Didn't know that.
They are. They're two very different. They are two very different people.
The more you know.
But I think, John Morton's going to figure out how to get the ball. I mean, like, I'm not worried about Amon-Ra. I'm not worried about Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they're going to find ways to use Jameson Williams as more than just a field stretcher.
He's
just
been having a good camp.
Get him out in space, let him use his speed, make it work.
But with his field, like, I think what goes under, like, everyone is talking about what the Lions might suffer without Ben Johnson, and I get it. But they threw the deep ball at, like, they were a bottom 2 deep ball team every year he was there. So more deep balls is not only good for Jameson Williams, it's good for everyone on the offense. Yeah. And they were also the run heaviest offense in the red zone. What if they start throwing more when they get closer to the goal line? Like, that could mean more touchdowns for the pass catchers. Like, I think this could be a good thing for fantasy purposes, maybe not for real life purposes, and everyone's only talking about it as a negative.
Side note to that, this is the first year I think I'm fading David Montgomery.
I am too.
It feels like that. It just feels like the fantasy streets are kind of just.
I just think, because I think this is the year they go all in on Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah. Basically.
I mean, Jason Kabenda. Former Lions. Linebacker, fullback. He was saying like how there could be more on the table for Gibbs, and I'm like, wait a second. Gibbs just had like 300 touches last season. Yeah. Like, what could be more there? So that he got me thinking like I could take him off at the 105 spot and feel confident about Gibbs being in that top 3 or the RB1 overall. Like, I'm good.
It goes under the radar. He was the RB1 last year. Like, I know Saquon didn't play week 18. Yeah. But in week through 17, it was Saquon. But I think Gibbs is that good. And Monty feels like not a benefactor of Ben Johnson, but like that was very Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Like skewed.
Yeah. I mean, I say I drafted him I think I drafted him in the Kings Classic, but it was one of those things where it just sort of fell right.
Yeah.
You know, like I wasn't like, yeah, David. I was like, okay, yeah, I can, we can work with this. This is gonna be fine, sort of thing. So
You've always been a big Monty guy.
I've been a big Monty guy.
So
last couple
Braelon
years.
Allen or David Montgomery?
I'd still take Monty,
Yeah,
but at cost, that's a discussion.
Yeah, but I just think when you factor it in, the Lions are gonna score more touchdowns. Like that's the thing. Like the whole point of this game is to score points, and the Lions are going to.
I do think we're going to get a Jared Goff season this year, though, because I think John Moore wants to be aggressive, more throwing downfield, and this is where Goff shows his old self.
All right.
In that Rams jersey.
I think it won't be as good for real life, but
Yeah.
I think it could be better. Like I think Goff's ceiling is higher now, and that's something that's not getting talked about because more touchdowns in the red zone and more deep balls could just naturally lead
So
to it'll lead
Goff-
to more turnovers, but it'll
Yeah.
lead to better counting stats.
So Goff or Kyler, because that's kind of where the ADPs are.
because I'm taking Kyler.
I think I'm taking Kyler.
He can run.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Kyler. Speaking of QBs, though, you like some QBs in this range.
Yeah, this is where the QB1 should be going. Like, you don't have to pay that premium price for the Jaden Daniels, the Joe Burrow,
Yes,
the
you
Josh
do.
Allen. No, you don't. You don't have to. Because I
I
can
mean, if you
wait.
want those guys, you do.
Yeah, if you want those guys, I get it. But there's guys that have that same type of ceiling. Like, again, this is where the Patrick Mahomes, the Dak Prescotts, the Bo Nix, like all these guys, I could wait in these rounds where I can get the elite QB1s that have that type of upside. Like elite in terms of like real life. Like Dak, he's on that table to be elite because we know it's 4,500 yards, 40 plus touchdowns are on the table this year with Pickens and CD. So like he can honestly be a top 3 quarterback, and look where you're getting him in those mid rounds. So it's not always the same game plan to go in the 3rd round and get like a Lamar Jackson or whatever. Because what's the difference between 1 and 3 when it comes to Dak and Lamar? At the end of the day, you're having a QB1 at the elite ceiling that's going to give you that 20-plus fantasy points per game.
I feel if you're taking Dak, that's not a reach because I think Dak's being underdrafted, but he's going way later than that even. Like, you can wait
outside like the top 10 rounds. Like I think he's like living and breathing the 11th round right
but
now.
you're talking like I love the value of waiting. Like Justin Fields is my guy. I love waiting that range. But
Yeah, that's
when
what
you're
he's
taking the top 5, especially the top 3, I think there's a
there's
clear
a
cut
clear
top
cut
3.
difference. Yeah.
Like their floors are QB5.
But I just need that 20 fantasy points per game. From
Yeah, but
those
you
guys.
know you're getting that out of Lamar, Jaden,
Yeah.
Josh. You don't know you're getting that out of Dak. You're hoping to get that out of Dak.
hoping, but the pieces that are there just kind of indicate
Yeah.
like, hey,
But Lamar
it's
and Allen and
set up.
Jaden are going to be probably like 23, 24,
Yeah, because they have their
25.
legs. They have their legs
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, so look, I understand the value of going early at quarterback. It's not my way, but I understand it. So I'm going to leapfrog you here and
I don't like going the Joe Burrow route, though. I feel like you're paying the elite price and you're not getting any rushing production.
you're not getting him, but he's good enough throwing the ball where it makes sense.
He put up complete video game numbers last year, and he was the QB3.
I think Dak could do that. I think Dak has a
But-
Burrow of last year's season. And
But their ceiling is like QB3, 4 in that range. Like you need to run to be the QB1.
Yeah.
You can't
Fair.
be it without running.
That's true. So I'm going to leapfrog you here because my guy's Patrick Mahomes.
That makes sense.
I did not see the rundown.
Because my guy's Patrick Mahomes. Because he has dropped out of that elite tier of quarterbacks, right? I mean, people are sort of talking about a big 5 where you're looking at Lamar, Josh, Burrow, Jaden, and Jalen Hurts. People aren't talking about Patrick Mahomes in that group, at least not right now. I think this is the year he gets back to that. Now, I don't know that he's QB1, but I think he certainly gets back in the top 5, maybe even the top 3. The Chiefs seem very adamant that they want to be more vertical offensively. Travis Kelce can say that, being an entertainer sort of distracted him from football. I want to say that Father Time is coming up and maybe tapping him on the shoulder a little bit. And I think the Chiefs see that and realize they can't necessarily succeed on 150 targets, at 7 or 8 yards downfield to Travis Kelce. They've got to be better than that. So I think you're going to see that this year. Some of it is keeping Marquise Brown healthy. It's expanding Xavier Worthy's role. It's figuring out what in the hell is going on with Rashee Rice. Like all these things sort of factor into that. The other part of this is, though, Mahomes doesn't run the way Lamar or Jaden runs, but he runs just enough to break your heart. Right.
Yeah.
He's got sneaky rushing.
He's got
ability.
sneaky rushing ability, right? He will run. I mean, we've all seen it, right? Patrick Mahomes, it's 3rd and 8. He runs for 10.
Yeah.
First down.
Oh, we've seen it very, very
I was seeing where Marcus was going. I was on the bus ride waiting for you to react.
Yeah, like we've all seen it. So I think this is the year he sort of gets back into that elite top tier of guys. And right now, this is probably the cheapest Mahomes has been in a really, really long time. So like I've been taking advantage of that where I can.
was hoping he would be cheap. Because remember, like after last season, there was a lot of like Mahomes is not a QB1 anymore. Like and now he's firmly like the QB6.
Even though he finished like QB,
like a lot of people were saying
right? Like,
a lot of people were saying it, and I was like,
but you're going to be strapped to a guy that is a household name. You're going to be looking at your roster every Sunday, and like, why aren't you playing to your name value? Like that's literally what you're going to be strapped to all season.
It did hit a point last year where I played Geno Smith over him.
Like that looks crazy. You were writing articles of sitting Patrick Mahomes. Like, come on.
It got pretty ugly, but I thought because of that we'd have a like. I do think he's a fair value where he's going. QB6, you get a gap between him and the top 5. I just was hoping it would be even bigger, you know?
No, I still think there's still a little bit of that, again, that muscle memory, right? Like people see, they're like, okay, I can't really take him in the 3rd round like I used to, but he gets to the 6th, 7th round, everybody's like, dude, it's still Patrick Mahomes.
Has this happened?
You can sell yourself so easily
it's
right
still
there.
Patrick Mahomes.
Like the whole football watching world admits that he is the best quarterback in the world. But then in fantasy, we're like,
all right, chill out now.
Again, this also goes back to my rant that I've done past seasons where it should not be a strategic disadvantage to take the best player at the most difficult position in all of sports, right? It's not. It shouldn't be that way, but we've made it because of scoring and roster construction. We're like, if you take Patrick Mahomes early, or if you take Josh Allen early, it's like, ooh, like that doesn't make sense. You can take the best wide receiver at the number 1 pick. You can take the best running back at the number 1 pick, but you take the best quarterback there, and it's just like, bro, you okay?
Because your first draft.
Yeah.
The thing is with Mahomes is like if he throws up 200 yards in a game, but he wins that game in a fashion where it's like only a great quarterback can do that. That plays into his name value. That's why we're painting this picture for us. On Sundays, when I look, he's like, oh, he won this game and it's 12 points. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, he won. Yeah, he's the greatest to ever do it, but this sucks.
To your point, though, like,
this sucks.
We even hit a point last year where we were sick of him winning. Where the way he was doing it, we were
winning.
like, enough of this.
But you suck in fantasy.
There was a lot of Jesse Pinkman. He can't keep getting away with this.
We were just over Mahomes.
Like, come on.
Keep getting away with this. Like, how? If Isaiah Likely had a half shoe size smaller,
that story would have been so different.
If he was like, if his foot was like a size 11 instead of 11 and a half or whatever it is,
Kevin Durant,
like it would have been a touchdown, and the Chiefs would have lost. Anyway,
that's enough Mahomes talk.
That's enough Mahomes. You got who's your
Calvin
other person?
Ridley, because I mean it's a yearly thing. I love Calvin Ridley. I think he's a really good wide receiver, and I think Cam Ward is the quarterback to get the most out of him because he's got that strong arm. I like that they're not forcing him to be the X or letting him still play the Y because I think that's where he's most comfortable. But yeah, I just expect a ton. Like the Titans are going to be getting their doors blown off most weeks because their defense is just not very good. So they're going to be in catch-up mode, and Cam Ward is going to lock in on Calvin. Like, Calvin Ridley was a wide receiver 3 last year with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. You pay wide receiver 3 price to get him this year. I think Cam Ward is a huge
Oh, my God. Strap a rocket to his back because I am on Calvin Ridley. Like, the yards, the touchdowns, they're going to go up because Cam Ward is going to target him deep downfield, and this is where you're going to be able to get those chunk plays after chunk plays. And the thing is, there's not much competition in that wide receiver. I mean, like these last 2 weeks, it's kind of been meh. Tyler Lockett, Alec Ayman making a great play, but like that's about it. But the gap between Calvin Ridley and the rest, he's going to be hyper focused. Like I'm looking at 140 targets for Calvin Ridley. Like that's how crazy I think the gap is going to be between him and the other wide receivers in target share.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. And look, I even say this as somebody who I've been on Iomanor like all off season. Yeah. Like I also would admit though, like he's a late round, like he's a swing with upside sort of guy, right? Like I'm not drafting him and being like, yep, you're my wide receiver 3. Let's go.
You're in starting lineup week 1.
No.
Tyler Lockett's a real estate agent at this point. Van Jefferson is Van Jefferson.
Come on, man.
I will say
I
this.
hope Van makes the team.
Tyler Lockett.
I nothing against him.
Tyler Lockett going to Nashville makes a lot of sense though, because like the real estate market in the Sun Belt is popping off right now.
That was he was thinking 2 steps ahead.
Chess, not checkers, man.
It's also the wide receiver retirement home team too. So yeah,
True.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're part of the collection. The Ravens, the Chiefs, like they're all.
Julio Jones, man. You remember Julio Jones in a Titans uniform?
I remember him in the Eagles uniform.
Yeah,
Looking
I remember that too.
end.
Like I remember the jump scare that social media had collectively every time. Like, oh, that's right. Julio Jones is with the Eagles.
Like for me, that's like Torrey Holt, like with the Patriots and Jaguars. I mean, like when did that happen? Like that was really disgusting.
Yeah, it's Jerry Rice in a Broncos jersey. Just doesn't seem right.
Manny in a Rays jersey.
Manny in a Rays jersey.
Wow.
Hakeem Olajuwon in a Raptors uniform.
I don't know.
I mean,
who that
Patrick
is.
Ewing in the Magic. I could go all day.
We
going down these
We could do
rabbit
this all
holes.
day.
Shaq in a Celtics jersey. That was a disgusting.
That was
year.
bad.
I still
that was
think
bad.
that Mike Piazza should have gone in the Hall of Fame as a Miami Marlin.
But that happened like in the middle. It wasn't even like he was washed.
My
was
mom
like-
bought
it
her
was like-
car from his dealership.
it
Actually,
was
pretty
really?
cool. Yeah,
It was like all of a week that he was a Marlin.
He tanked an Italian soccer team. Like they hate him in Italy
Oh,
because he bought like a really local team that
Mhm.
people loved
right.
and then ran it into the ground.
So it's like the opposite of Welcome to Wrexham. Call it welcome to Wrecked It, maybe. I don't know.
Welcome to Death Row.
All right. Week 2 of the preseason, almost in the books. There's still a game on Monday night, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the Commanders.
There was no Sunday night game. It just
Corey
it ceased to
Crossy Merritt
exist.
watch.
Yeah, yeah.
JCM watch.
That's right, JCM watch. It's the Bengals and the Commanders. That game coming up tonight, so you can one last hit of the preseason for this week at least until next week.
That
Some of
38-0 Sunday Night Football never happened.
Is that what that game was? Like,
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on here?
yeah. Well,
I was like, oh, Bills Sunday night. I'm excited. Nope.
no. Well, how'd the Mets do last night?
They won.
Oh, so there
in,
you go.
In Williamsport? The
Yeah,
Little League?
yeah.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah. My friends and I were sort of hoping that the major leaguers would brawl in Williamsport.
That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious. Neither here nor there. Some of the things we saw, though, in week 2. JSN running half his routes from the slot.
Ooh.
You, now that you are an official Cooper Kupp hater, despite all the good things that man did for your team, you kicked him to the curb and then got mad at his choices afterwards.
You don't go to the ops, bro. If I break up with you, we're
let
You
him
done.
go.
fired him.
So
You
what?
let him go. You let the man with company secrets walk
You
out the
don't
door.
go to the ops.
You let the man with
You
company
don't do
secrets
that.
walk out the door.
No.
Anyway, JSN runs half of his routes from the slot. What does this mean, I guess? Like, is he going to push Kupp out of the slot? Is this they're just testing things out? Like, I'm trying to figure out what this means.
Boo. Like, we don't want him playing half and half out of the slot. We want him exclusively in the slot. Make
That's
Cooper
not going to
Kupp.
happen.
But it's not because we're accommodating for Cooper Kupp, who's not going to be able to win on the outside as often as he used to. So I think you're going to be cutting JSN in half in production. Like, my expectations for him is like he's going to be on a run-heavy offense and going to be getting split between out wide in the slot, where we've seen him exclusively play in the slot, where we honestly want him to play in the slot because that's where we got the most fantasy production. So now this is going to be a weird year for JSN. Like, I'm just totally just off the boat of it. Like, my expectations have come all the way down for him.
I know a lot of people are like, I haven't drafted much of him just because, I don't know. Maybe he can win on the outside. I don't know.
I think he could. It's
He
just a lot
could.
harder.
Yeah, but it's like, here's the thing. I don't want to find out at the
Yes.
price I have to pay to
Exactly.
find
And you're
out.
going to pay a pretty penny.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was talking with Scott Engel, obviously huge Seahawk fan, and he was
I thought
saying
he was a
that
Patriots fan.
he is a Patriot fan. He was saying he expects what the Rams do, like 2 slot receivers and just like use Kupp and JSN in the
Yeah.
slot. It's
Nope.
not ideal,
like that.
but yeah, like
Nope.
I have JSN closer to wide receiver 20 than 12, so I'm not gonna get him in many teams.
Yeah, like I said, I think he could do it, but you got to kind of pay a premium to find out.
Yeah.
And I'm not really willing to do that. Sometimes I can look at the rundown and figure out who wrote what sentence. Travion Henderson now calls the moon home. Would you like to take a victory lap, sir?
No, because he hasn't officially done anything
He
yet.
hasn't officially gotten
I
to the
don't
moon.
want. I don't like this. Like, I'm happy that everyone. I actually got a little. I tweeted on Saturday. I was like, "Well, now everyone loves Travion,
Yeah.
right?" Like, but it's gonna cost like a 3rd, 4th round pick now. I loved getting him in the 7th round a month ago. So, yeah, I love Travion. I'm gonna continue to draft him. I think now is a more realistic price, but a month ago felt way better.
Oh my God, yes.
It's-
I mean,
yeah.
the closer you have to week 1, like you're late August drafts, like it gets dangerous for this because like I look at all my old teams in the best ball leagues. I was getting him as my RB4 and 5.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
it was disgusting value. And like now, being that they need to put him in bubble wrap, I don't need to see no more preseason action.
Yeah.
I don't want to
He
see no
should
more
be
camp
done.
highlights. Shut him down. We get it. He is the real deal.
I took him. It was a 14-team league a couple days ago, but I took him on the 2-3 swing because I was like, I'm not going to get
You're
him.
never going to get him
Yeah,
after that.
I took him over James Cook, which that might be a little spicy for some, but I do think.
But the
that's
crazy
range.
thing is, Hampton is still going off the board before Henderson.
I've always had him ahead of Hampton, so I took him ahead.
I see the
of him,
fantasy
but-
streets are starting to wake up and listen because, like, I mean, obviously Travion Henderson's hero right here, but I was like, look, I'm standing on business. I got him over Hampton, and everybody just went bonkers when I said that 2-3 weeks ago.
So in sort of handicapping this Henderson-Hampton battle, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask it like this: who would you rather have, Najee Harris or Ramondre Stevenson?
Najee. Well,
Najee.
if Najee is healthy,
If he's healthy.
Okay, I mean, assuming health, right? Najee or Ramondre,
I would rather Najee.
right? Which means you
I-
probably want Henderson over
Henderson
Hampton,
because
right?
Stevenson's not going to be the threat. He's not. I look at Henderson where he's going to be on the field at least 60% of the time because he's going to be the juice and function of this Patriots offense. Like we're still banking on Diggs. Kyle Williams is banged up right now, so we have to figure out who's going to step in and vacate those targets in his role. But Henderson looks like the obvious second target of this offense in terms of touches. Period.
The reason I was Henderson over Hampton, even in the NFL draft, was because I was like, this is not a guy. Like, to me, Hampton needs 20 touches a week to live up to his upside.
Yes.
Henderson doesn't because he is
Hand
such a
him the
home
ball
run hitter.
10, 15
that-
times.
Yeah, if you
Jeez.
can give him the ball 20 times and you'll get great results. But if you want to bring in a RB2 and limit it to 15, he could still give you really great
Look at
fantasy
Bucky
numbers.
Irvin's usage. Look at James Cook's usage. Like if we get just that, but maybe a little bit more out of the passing game from Henderson, oh my God. Like,
Speed
oh
is
my
devalued
God.
in fantasy, and it should not be. Like, speed is a huge, huge factor in turning 10 yards into 50 yards,
Yeah.
you know? Like, that's what
RJ
separates
Harvey,
good from
ladies
greats.
and gentlemen. I had to sneak him in, man. We giving too much love to Henderson. We got to remember RJ Harvey.
What's up with all these H backs? Henderson,
Hey.
Harvey, Hampton.
Yeah,
Big
I
year,
like
big year
that.
for H backs.
H backs.
Isaiah,
Triple H.
Isaiah
It was there. It was there. I just had to.
Isaiah Pacheco looks like himself again. I did catch a few plays of it, and I saw him stomping out
Stomping
worms.
the ground.
Feel bad for that grass in Kansas
so
City.
My man
bad.
is heel
I
toeing
mean,
at a
it's-
violent rate.
He had one touch. He reached 17 miles per hour. He did that 3 times in all of the games he played when he came back last
He's
year.
Yeah.
back.
He looks like he's healthy again.
He's back.
Which I feel like he's another guy who's sort of being underdrafted. a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
think hugely. He's paying
Just-
because he tried to play through injury last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I did see him
Big jersey, also another jersey.
running like
representative.
Roy Kent, like he was angry at the grass, just for real.
He's here.
Who is that?
He's there.
Roy Kent.
You've
Ted
never seen
Lasso?
No, I'm only on like episode 1.
Dude, you love soccer.
I know I started, but I didn't have time, man. I'm up
You-
to the
when
point
you-
where
It's
You
also a
the
show that-
player, I guess, might have messed with the coach or the player's wife, the coach or whatever. Like it's the first couple episodes.
Oh yeah, you're yeah. You got
It's
a
a show
whole,
your whole family would love.
You can watch it
Oh.
with the kids. We watch it with
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
awesome.
it's fun.
I
Yeah,
love
Roy,
him.
Roy Kent's great.
Yeah, it's
Horrible
definitely
bosses. What's his name?
highly-
Jason.
Jason Sudeikis.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Horrible
They're bringing
bosses.
it back too, which I
Yeah, I
think
don't
they
really
should
know
be
they
doing.
Wait, they're bringing horrible bosses back?
No.
Oh, I was about to say Ted Lasso. I was
How
like
did we
another.
get on horrible bosses?
I was like another one. I love that movie.
Anyway, Ashton Genty. He looked great. Asked Diamador Lenore, who got trucked by Ashton Genty.
Oh my gosh.
But look, the first game he only had -1 yard. So
Oh
I don't
my-
know.
So I don't know. He might be terrible.
Yeah.
My concern with Genty remains the same. And basically that like how good is the Raider offense going to be? Like
Yeah.
how many goal line opportunities is he going to get? How do they use him out of the backfield? Does he get games scripted out when the Raiders are inevitably playing from behind and Geno Smith's got to throw the ball 20 times in the second half? That's my fear. It has nothing to do with him as a player and everything to do just with the Raiders offense. But yeah, he looked great. He looked great running the ball this weekend.
As advertised. I mean, honestly, the angry runner, Scepter, get it made over there, Kyle, because
yeah.
God, man, as advertised, I would say again, because I don't think this is surprising to see him run somebody over. Like, we've seen enough of it out of his college tapes. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to be the function of this Raiders offense. And I think the offense is going to be very under the radar. And like Gino over there, he's fitting right in over there in Nevada, being with the Raiders culture, that guy holding up the sign, he coming back with the birds, So I think the energy over there, it's high. And I think that Ashton Genty is going to be the actual motor of this offense.
I do it. And that's why I'm a little worried about Brock. Like, I know we could jump ahead.
I was gonna say, let's get there.
He was used in a really weird way. Like, Michael Mayer was playing over him. I don't worry about that translating into the regular season. Although, I do think a concern is like, what if Brock Bowers gets pulled on running downs?
Yeah.
Because I think Pete Carroll is going to run the ball a ton. Chip Kelly, they're going to run. And the thing that worries me, and you guys could speak on this better than me, you had him in your division for like 2 decades. Pete Carroll, more than anything, loves to just muck up games and keep them low scoring and control the clock. And like, to me, I think he's going to just try to get Ashton Genty 30 touches a game because then he knows they have control of the clock till the very end. Like, I don't expect a lot of like high flying numbers from this Raiders.
They're going to run the piss out of the ball. They are. Because honestly, with Chip Kelly and that concoction of Pete Carroll, like, he could literally just be the identity of this offense, where Brock Bowers, like, we didn't see him line up out wide or the slot last week. Like, it was just Michael Mayer and him trying to bouncing off of that 12 personnel. And I think that, that is a huge concern, because if that translates to anything at any point of the season where Bowers is going where? In the middle of the second round, early second round in some leagues, like, that's a pretty penny that people need to kind of pay attention to. Like, the identity of this offense, it's not going to be Brock Bowers only. He's not the only one in the circus. Like, he's not the only animal out there. I think the most exotic is Ashton Genty.
Well, the other part of this is I liked Michael Mayer coming out of college.
Yeah.
Right? This is a guy who went to big school, went to Notre Dame, is their all-time leading receiver at tight end, right? So, I mean, that's no small thing. And so when they drafted him, I was like, oh, okay, I'm cool in. And then the very next year they draft Brock Bowers, and I was like, but who's to say that they don't try to work both guys in? I mean, Chip Kelly has done that before. He had 2 tight ends in Philly when he had Zach Ertz and Brent Selleck, right? He's figured out a way to try to operate with both of those guys. That's probably bad news for Brock Bowers, right? If they're using him more.
If you're going to your draft right now and box scoring of last year's stats of Bowers, you're going to be in a rude awakening, because like most folks are not looking at this whole culture, this whole identity of this offense shifting right in front of our faces. So I do think like Brock Bowers could be a guy that he should be going where Kittle should be going, like in that 4th, 5th round. Like, I would rather pay that price, because I do think he's going to have a good season. I think the touchdowns are going to go up. I think we just see him use a little bit more efficiently in the red zone as well. So it's like there is opportunity for him to still be like a top 5 tight end. I'm just not crowning him number 1 right now.
The Raiders last year were 10th in pass percentage plays, and that's largely because they were trailing.
They were losing a lot.
But, like, I don't think they're going to be top 10 or anywhere close to it this year.
If they are, that means things went really badly.
Pete Carroll wants the final score to be like 20-16.
Yeah,
he's
fine with that.
Yeah, he's not trying to run it up.
Speaking of multiple tight ends, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland splitting time. I feel like we haven't talked much, certainly not enough, about Cole Kmet and the role that he had in that offense.
It's Kmet season.
I'm not saying it's Kmet season, but I mean, it does feel like we are underestimating what they want to do with him, because he was productive. I mean, for what the Bears offense was last year, he was productive enough, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess it's weird that we all just sort of acted like Colston Loveland was just gonna kick down the door and punt him aside, and that was gonna be.
That has not been the case.
I don't see a world where Cole Kmet is very fantasy relevant, but I very much see one where his presence prevents Loveland from being that.
He's in that Tyler Higbee tier.
Yeah.
He won't be fantasy relevant, but he will be on the field.
He'll mess up. He'll take too much from Loveland where neither one of them will be
He's not going to be great, but he's going to mess up that dude's day.
Yeah, exactly that.
But there's really no rush on Loveland. Like, there's really no rush for him, because Cole Kmet was very productive in that chaotic, offense that they had last year. So I think, like, were reports like where we're talking about Cole Kmet, like he's not being pushed aside. Like he's still with the ones. Like he's still out there practicing. He's healthy right now. Like he's doing good things in preseason, like showing that he can operate in this offense under Ben Johnson. So Loveland, I am saying far away in redraft. Like that should be a common
He's
thing,
going
right?
cheap enough now. Like when he was going top 10 tight end, I was paying that like tight end 10, 11 price, but now he's falling and falling where I don't mind grabbing him as a 2. I do not think he can be your only, like you can't be starting him week 1.
No.
But
Never.
as someone who sat there and watched every second of 38-0 last night,
Jeez,
turn it off?
Well, I
Why'd you
turned
do
it
that
off
to
in the
yourself?
third quarter.
Let the
'cause I had
boy
a show
watch.
to do. I had to do a show on the game, like so I was like, I unfortunately have to watch this.
Oh my god.
I'm in. I was already in on the Bears offense, but I'm all in on the Bears offense this year.
Which gets us to the next thing about Rome Odunze seeing time in the slot. I've been saying I think this is a big breakout year for Odunze.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm not. So when I see him seeing time in the slot, I'm not like, oh, they're making him a slot receiver. What it means to me is, and he's sort of hinted at this from the beginning, they're just trying to move him all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, they're chess pieces.
They're
these
just
guys.
trying to play matchups and get the best possible matchups for these guys because I know Ben Johnson likes Odunze and his physicality, his ability to get downfield, his ability to high point the football. They want all of that. So now it's just about, okay, so how do we make this happen? And so seeing that he's in the slot sometimes, seeing that he's outside, I think they want to try to put him in motion. They want to use more play action. Like, that's what's exciting about this Bears offense. They're going to do a lot of the things that they haven't done in years past because they know they've got these movable chess pieces and they want to get them involved as much as
Loveland
possible.
played out wide a bit at times. Just that he played and then there was a report that came out over the weekend that was like DJ Moore is seeing time all over the field. Ben Johnson,
including the backfield.
It was spun as like Ben Johnson doesn't know what to do with him, and I'm like, no, he's trying to get him the ball in as many.
They don't know
ways
DJ Moore's
as
game
possible. Like, great, you want to give him the ball in the backfield? You want to put him in the slot? You want to put him out? Do whatever you need to just get him the ball 10 times a game, and good things will happen.
Not to mention that doing all this in the preseason means at least the first couple of weeks, teams that you play got to be like kind of paying attention to it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well now what? Where is he going to line up? What does this mean? What are they going to do? Like, you got to at least pay it. And like, look, maybe a month into the season, we're like, okay, well, he's not really doing that. But at least you got to think about it.
Yeah.
The only negative I think from the Bears right now is Luther Burden was not with the ones at all, and he played deep into the game.
No rush. Dynasty folks, just chill out.
Dynasty, fine, but in redraft, I think.
Oh no,
I think you could. He seems like someone that the person who drafts him won't have the breakout.
You say that though, Laquan, like as though he won't have like a good game, and Dynasty folks are going to be like, so.
Yeah,
Dynasty folks hate
that's a
good
different fantasy street.
They are playing for a future that never
They're further
comes.
up the block. Like, they're further up the block, and I just kind of know they got some craziness going on over there. Noise complaints and whatnot.
Couple more before we get out of here. Braelon Allen playing 8 snaps compared to Breece Hall's 11. This is really going to be a split. I know Adam Rank tried to get me back on, and he had me on for a moment, and maybe I'm still on the Breece Hall train, but I think we just got to acknowledge he's not a workhorse. It's just not there.
I think this freak out though could be a good thing for Breece Hall because he's going to go cheaper in drafts. And one thing that like I won't take credit for having this idea. I saw it on Twitter, but it was like, yeah, they split reps, but they also did nothing but run the ball. So like even with Braelon Allen having a role, Breece Hall could be like a 15 carry, 5 catch guy per week. And we don't care how the touches come and how they look. So like if you're gonna give me Breece Hall at a discount now, I could get back in easily.
All right.
I think you take the risk though, because like you're
on
gonna
Breece
have
Hall or Braelon Allen?
with Breece Hall, because I think he's not gonna fall cheap enough to where I feel okay. Like he's not gonna fall outside the top 5 rounds. Like I don't think he's gonna be down there with the Aaron Joneses or the Tony Pollard.
But if he's in the 5th round,
I would
roll
think
those
about
dice.
it. I would definitely think about it. But
But 5th round, I'd do that. For Breece Hall?
I rather
Sure,
Henderson. I rather RJ Hart. I rather have those guys as my RB2s that can have those spike weeks of the 20
But the way
fantasy points.
the way it's going, those guys are moving up. So
But
now
Breece hasn't looked good as a runner. Yeah, they're running the ball, but he hasn't been productive as the runner. Like when you hand the ball off, there's a completely different vibe, feel, and look from when Braelon Allen is getting that ball out of the backfield versus Breece Hall, where his vision looks like he was in that accident with Najee.
But,
Like, seriously, I'm just saying.
But if
like,
you're going, let's say you're going hero RB, right? And you take your guy at the top, then you're pounding, the wide receiver position, tight end position, maybe. Like 5th round is when you're, because at that point Hampton and Henderson are probably gone.
But even in that realm, I'd rather wait for a James Conner to have that security that he is the workhorse. I'd rather wait for a Tony Pollard.
So you're out on Hall this
I'm
year.
out on Hall just based on he's not going to be cheap enough where I can justify and feel good every Sunday. He's putting up less than 10 fantasy points because Braelon Allen has the hot hand right now.
Right.
You know, like that's going to be like one of my fears.
Braelon Allen, I like Braelon Allen as a value. I moved him up in the rankings this week and stuff. The one thing I will say though is he gets the least valuable touches. Like he's getting the second down carry, whereas goal line we haven't really seen yet.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is going to push plenty this year, but like on all the passing downs, it's going to be Breece, which I think.
But you got Fields. He ain't gonna check it down all the time. Like he would rather run out of that pocket.
He had the highest check down rate in the NFL last year.
Yeah, by design of Arthur Smith. Like honestly,
yeah, but I think Tanner Engström is going to bring a.
But what it feels like, they're letting
throws to the
Justin
running
Field
back.
play his type of ball. Like they're letting him be him. Like you know what I mean?
think they're trying to be very vanilla for preseason.
I also think that's not an offense. I mean, with the Jets, where like you got a lot of guys you feel great about having them go deep downfield. I mean, maybe Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
But beyond that,
Mason Taylor, I guess, like he could be.
I think we're just going to get a lot of short, quick pass. Like that's something I've.
But
been
Braelon
very
Allen can
firm on,
also
like-
catch. But the point is here, like Braelon Allen has looked better from a front as the workhorse RB1. Like he has the size, he has the explosiveness, and he can also catch. Just like a Breece Hall, he can't maybe run the same type of routes or have that same type of smoothness and like wiggle. But it's more so of like, if I can hand this guy the ball 20, 25 times and we are still going to be one of the top rushing attacks in the NFL, then I'm going to do that. I'm not going to throw in
I'm
Hall
not trying
just
to knock
because.
Braelon Allen, but Breece Hall has averaged 1,400 yards.
I was like, why would you all of a sudden just punt Breece Hall to the side?
Because you're force feeding that type of production. When you find a 1-2 punch that actually works, like we've seen from Ben Johnson, and we're hoping that this offense is anywhere near inspired or reflect anywhere from that Detroit backfield, where that 1-2 punch is going to have to be operated like Dave Montgomery and Gibbs, and look how that's operated.
And Breece Hall is the gift.
Right, like I don't think
Breece Hall ain't Gibbs though.
I don't think
Like,
they
Breece Hall is nowhere near
He's
Gibbs.
not Gibbs.
I don't think they
But
make him
Allen
go
isn't
away.
Monty.
I really don't think Breece Hall goes away.
No.
I think expectations just need to come down. That's all.
I mean, unless Braelon Allen is having a Derrick Henry-like season, Breece Hall's not going away.
It
Like
could
Braelon
happen.
Allen is a really good
Fine.
RB2,
Mhm.
but
That's
what he
where
is.
he's being priced.
He's an RB2.
Breece is Breece.
Speaking of which, J.K. Dobbins did not play. Was held out with the starters. R.J. Harvey looked really good.
Ooh.
The thing
I don't like how you sold that.
Well,
right
here's
there.
the thing, because the thing I am reading now, reports out of Denver are suggesting that maybe it ends up being a hot hand situation.
That's fine. Because when RJ Harvey is hot, how can he not be hot just running?
Hot
at
hand
40
is
feet?
the worst because you're trying to guess which
They're
week.
trolling, man. I am on Sean
I'm just
Payton.
telling you that
They're
Sean Payton's
trolling.
not to be trusted. I just
Yeah,
keep
I
trying to
trust
remind
him.
you that.
I trust him. And if I'm sitting here 1 year from now and we're looking at me like, how did that Sean Payton train feel?
Then when your hair has like purple spots in it because you made a weird bet, then be like, see, you didn't have to do this to yourself.
All
You
right,
didn't be
all
here.
right. But I'm trusting the process. Let's put it
All
like
right.
that. I mean, look, not the 76ers, like, trust the process.
Yeah,
like, this is
that
like
didn't
an
work out.
actual trust the process of, like, he's going to get ramped up. Like, I do think he has, like, a Bucky Irvin late, usage, like, type of spike season. But I do think at that point where you're drafting him, he's your RB2 or RB3. And I think that he showed enough to be just as explosive as a Travion Henderson that we're all excited about. And him getting the opportunities on this Broncos offensive line, which they were top 5 last season. So in terms of that, there's nothing but great opportunity for him to be an explosive and electric player for you on Fantasy Sundays.
All right. I think 2026 is the big RJ Harvey year. I think 2025 is fine.
That's
It's
when you're
fine.
going to have to take him in
I
the
think
second
2020
round.
I think 2026 is the big year.
Yeah.
For him. Whew. That was a lot. This episode was really unhinged. And for those of you who made it to this point, I congratulate you. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. We will dive into the mid-round picks that we like, rounds 9 through 12. We'll figure out what other news possibly is happening and what other nonsense we can come up with. But anyway, that'll do it for this edition of the NFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Stay happy, safe, and healthy. Do good and live well. Enjoy Monday night preseason football.
Let's
Everybody.
go, JCM Watch.
We'll talk to you
JCM
again
Watch.
on Wednesday.